G'day everyone, welcome back to another episode of Daily Clogs. On the last episode of the show, we got to 98 out of 100 collection logs with just 2 days to go until I took on the fight caves. The only key item we got last week was the squid beak, which I'll be needing for the ironwood blowpipe. With all my stats where they needed to be, I started the day off with some master splinter in an attempt to get a second dose of ranging potion, for whatever good that would be worth. 4 more kills in, and I was naturally given the title Scurriest Champion, as one with the experience of killing one boss 10 times would expect to receive. Unfortunately, I did not receive the second ranging potion however. From there, I moved on to making the last items I needed for Jad. Realising that I had gotten the woodcutting and fletching levels to make an ironwood blowpipe, as well as the smithing levels to make adamant darts, I refreshed my memory on the wiki as to where I would chop ironwood. As you can see here, I am chopping camphor. That is because the only ironwood trees are located on Sunbleak Island, and Sunbleak has a 72 sailing requirement. 72 sailing. I contemplated going on a little side quest and getting an ironwood seed, 80 farming, planting myself, but I only had 1 day and I knew the hardwood tree wouldn't grow in time. So I ended up going for the camphor blowpipe, which had a max hit of 10 and can only shoot mithril darts, which is generally not great to use. I did learn as well, for whatever reason, you can't use the fletching knife to fletch the blowpipe. So I head back to Varrock, made the camphor blowpipe with the squid beak, and with my camphor blowpipe made, I had to finish making the darts. Thankfully, I didn't need Zorula scales for this blowpipe. Having made some darts, I did what every good citizen of Varrock would do. I killed a guard to test out my gear. It honestly didn't seem that bad. With a 2-tick attack speed, I should be able to do some damage with this blowpipe. With the end of the day approaching, I head over to the Giant's Foundry and I grabbed the Kovacs grog for the 99th collection log on the 63rd day of the account. And I went to bed in anticipation of what I guess would be a slow 45 to 50 minute cape maybe? That's my estimation anyway. Well, here we are. After 63 days of clogging, we arrived to the fight caves. I thought I'd crack into this first thing in the morning, so I've logged in at around 5 here, just in case I somehow managed to die and needed to send it again. Looking back, I definitely over-prepared for this, as I have been doing with everything in terms of taking 10 hard food in. I had my sunlight crossbow, my chin chompers, and my blowpipe ready for a victory. I entered the caves and got ready. The first few waves went quick and it filled me with confidence this blowpipe was going to do a good job throughout the caves. It did have a max hit of 10, and my crossbow had a max hit of 14 without eagle eye, or 15 if I was praying. Throughout this run, I would also be attempting to get some of the CAs done, of course getting the fight caves veteran task, the first denying the healers, and you didn't say anything about a bat. However, my primary concern was the cape of course, and these could easily come later when doing speeds and KC tasks. Wave 7 and the first ranger came out, and it wasn't the fastest kill, but it was decent enough that it wouldn't ever be an issue. Thinking of when the ranger and the major spawns, as well as the melee. This is what I told myself anyway. Swapping to the sunlight crossbow did help with a much higher max hit. The camphor blowpipe, it did seem like a good early game addition, but not something you'd ever use outside of tutorial boosting, or maybe some early level slayer. The next few waves went just how you expect, no issues. All the rangers, all the blobs, all the bats were taken care of. Wave 15, the melee was up. It took me roughly 1 minute to kill the melee, which again, it didn't seem too bad, especially since you could always safe spot these in nearly every corner of the fight caves. I was confident this was going to be a cape and that my 100th clog would be the fire cape. With the blowpipe, the melee died in around 40 seconds, so it did feel quicker, but with that reduced range it would make safe spotting a bit more difficult. And the next 15 waves were pretty much the same, and with that, the major was coming. This was almost instantly depressing. It took almost 2 minutes to kill the major, and I still had 30 of these to kill, meaning on average it would take another 60 minutes to complete this already 23-minute fire cape. Several thoughts crossed my mind at this point, like waiting until I was stronger or better geared. Perhaps I could do the fire cape for the iron collection log, 200 collection logs later. But I was here now, I was committed, so I focused up and continued with the cape. Wave 35 came 6 minutes later at 29 minutes in, followed by Wave 40 10 minutes later. Wave 45 took another 10 minutes and then it was 12 minutes to Wave 50. I was getting concerned about my sunlight bolt usage and decided to start using the blowpipe some more. Wave 55 came in a massive 14 minutes later, and then I got a range level, which added 2 max hits to my crossbow, which was just going to speed things up tenfold. I got to Wave 60 16 minutes later, 90 minutes into the cape, and I started to worry that I'd fumbled Jad somehow. I'd never done this for over 6 years. Funnily enough, I did ask AI how many bolts I should realistically take into here, and it recommended 1,000, to which I said that was just an insane amount. After having to use myth darts on most of the later waves here, I did wish I had listened. Wave 62 was just an AFK simulator, standing there and waiting for the 2 majors to die to my max hit of 16. Jad spawned. This was it. I had plenty of food left, but Jad could max my HP quite easily. The healers would chip away at my low defense if I let them, so I opted to attempt running through Jad when they spawned. The bolts were slow, barely doing damage, certainly less than the twisted bow I was used to using, but they were hitting. "90 seconds in, I spawned the healers and quickly got to luring them over to me. Once they were safe spotted, all I had to do was not miss any prayers. One minute later, and Jad was dead, and I had my firecape, my 100th collection log on the account on day 64 of the series.
Collection log slot completed.
1 hour and 42 minutes for the cape. It was something significantly short of a world record, but it was a cape. I ran to the bank, my rank had updated. I was a bronze collection logger. The once full green bar at 99 out of 100 was now empty, with 200 more collection logs, 3 times more than I currently had, until the next rank. In RuneScape fashion, I teleported to the Grand Exchange by accident instead of Varrock, and then promptly back to Varrock, and clicked on the museum. The collector counted my collection logs. And he awarded me with the Bronze Staff of Collection. I had done it. I had completed 1/15 of this journey, and with that, I got ready to step out the doors and continue clogging 1 clog a day. Thank you as always for the support on the channel and the video so far. I look forward to setting some goals for the Iron rank now and working towards the Gilded Staff with the Bronze in hand. See you next time!